we'll get ourselves started here today in child's pose. Sitting back on the heels, letting the head come toward the floor. If it doesn't touch, you could rest your head on your hands or on a block. I've got my block handy for later, so if you have one, go ahead and grab it and just keep it close. It's not necessary, but sometimes it's helpful. And I'm so glad you're here today, even if you've never done yoga before, because we're practicing today with a sense of respect. And when we talk about respect, we're usually talking about other people, respecting the people around us. But we also need to respect ourselves, and that starts with honoring what the body can do today. So we're not going to force it into anything it's not ready for, anything that causes us pain. We're going to challenge it always, but respect it when it says not today. Go ahead and stretch your arms forward, spreading the fingers wide, and coming forward into a kneeling plank. On the exhale, we're going to slide back to the child's pose, and then inhale to kneeling plank. So you have a straight line from your head to your knees. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, child's pose. Good, a couple more. Just bringing that movement into your shoulders. Good, following your breath, taking nice long inhales, long exhales. Forward to the plank, and this time stay in the plank. We're going to exhale as we lower down to the floor, all the way down onto your belly. Keep those elbows in tight, and then inhale, lift the shoulders and the chest into cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift into cobra, letting your back do the work. Your hands are just resting on the floor. Exhale, lower. Inhale, think about sliding forward almost, like your spine is stretching out before your back bends. Good, a few more just like this. Following your breath. Again, nice slow breaths, slow movements. There's no rush. And then we'll press up through that tricep push-up. Come back to child's pose. And then slide the hands forward a little bit until your hips are above your knees. And we're coming into this kneeling downward dog or extended puppy. Your head is resting on or toward the floor, but you've still got some weight in your palms. Long line from tailbone to fingertips. Make sure you're breathing. And checking in with your shoulders, respecting them. If this is not comfortable, we can always come back to child's pose anytime throughout the practice. Good, press into your palms a little bit and walk your hands back underneath you. We're going to come onto our left knee, kicking that left foot behind us so we can lift into a side plank, a kneeling side plank. So this is a great place to use your block under your left hand. On either end, depending on how close you want the floor to be today. Just make sure your left knee, your right foot, and your left hand are all on the same line, like you're on a balance beam there. The right hip is drawing open, and then reach that left hand down to the floor, come into a full plank, and slide back to a downward dog. Good, now bring the right knee down under your hip. Bring the right foot out like a kickstand. Get the left foot, right knee, right hand all on the same line and bring that left arm up high. Block can go under your right hand if you'd like. Check that your breath is full and deep. And then reach that left hand forward and down to the floor. Step back to plank and downward dog. It's okay to bend your knees here, to walk your heels down one at a time. Fingers are spread wide. And then we're going to step forward big with both feet, feet between the hands, at the front of the mat. Let your knees bend here as you fold forward, and you can fold your arms, placing your hands in each elbow into a bit of a ragdoll. And then slowly start to straighten your legs as much as is comfortable now. And then we'll sway a little bit side to side. Respecting those hamstrings. Releasing the pressure on them by bending the knees if you need to. Then bring the hands down and we'll roll up the spine, vertebra by vertebra, stacking your spine up until you're standing tall. Tadasana. Weight on both feet. Shoulders above hips, above ankles, and breathing. On the exhale, let's bring the right knee up toward the chest, and you can hold the hamstring. Inhale, set it down. And then the left leg, exhale, shifting your weight to the right foot and tucking that left knee up. Bring it down to the floor on the inhale. Exhale, right knee. And here you don't have to lift that leg all the way up. Here's another example. You can just bring it slightly off the floor. Depending on how your balance is today, what your flexibility is like. There are so many options for every pose. So find the one that works for you. It's still yoga and it's still helping you improve. Good. If you want, if you're holding that leg as you bring it up, you can start to squeeze it up a little higher every time you exhale. Keeping the shoulders above the hips. Good. Next time you bring the right one up, let's hold it up. Find that balance and maintain it. Good. And then we'll switch. Left leg is up. Again, you don't have to be holding the hamstring. You can just hold it in the air. Hover it above the floor. Balancing on that right foot. Good. Set the left one down. And with your next inhale, bring both arms up above the head. Exhale them down to your side. Again, inhale, reach up high. Exhale, arms to side. Inhale, reach up high. And as you exhale, dive forward, keeping the back flat, reaching for the floor. And keeping the hands hanging down. Again, you can sway a little bit side to side. And then with your inhale, flat back, we'll come up and step back with the left foot, letting the toes point to the side and a little bit forward, coming into warrior one. So we're going to square our hips to the front of the mat. The right knee is bent. You're bringing the right hip back, the left hip forward a little bit. So you're really pressing into that left leg. If and when you're ready, let's bring the hands out in front of us. The shoulders are still squeezing back, but the fingertips are reaching forward strong. And then on an inhale, open wide, give a little arch in the back and bring the heart up. From there, we'll step forward, bringing the palms together over the heart. Release the hands to the side and inhale them up above the head. Exhale, dive forward. Reaching for the floor, bending the knees as much as you need to, and then giving yourself a little sway side to side. Centering in the middle, inhaling as you come up and stepping back with the right foot this time. Left knee is bent. Right heel pressing into the ground, the entire right foot anchoring you back there. Hips are square to the front. Feel yourself strong and rooted. The warrior poses are powerful poses. Good, palms together in front of you. Active reaching through your fingers. At the same time, shoulder blades hugging toward your spine and the right leg pressing down. With your next inhale, open wide, heart comes forward, arms come back. And then step forward, bringing the palms together over the heart. We'll release the hands and inhale all the way up, reach, long body. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Good, nice deep breaths. And inhale. Step back a little bigger with the left leg as you come up to standing. So we can come into Warrior Two. The right knee is going to bend, a nice strong lunge position. Right toes pointed directly forward, left toes out to the side, arms at about shoulder height and really reaching forward and back. The shoulders stay on top of the hips. On the inhale, straighten the right leg, and then exhale, sink a little lower into your Warrior Two. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, Warrior Two. Good. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, Warrior Two. Let's pause it there. Stay in your Warrior Two. And then move into a side angle pose by bringing the right elbow to the right leg and reaching that left arm just straight up today. You're still maintaining your strong lunge position, so your right knee is still bent. And we're breathing, breathing. Good. Inhale, back to Warrior Two, arms out. And then exhale, windmill your arms down to the floor. Come up on those left toes so you can step back into plank. Breathing in your plank. Go ahead and bring your knees down if you'd like as we lower toward the floor, keeping the elbows in by your ribs tight. Ask your triceps to do that work. We'll inhale up to a cobra, just like at the beginning, but this time we're going to hold. Good. Again, your back is doing the work. Hands are light on the floor, but then if you'd like, start to press down by pulling back. It's like you're trying to slide yourself through your hands to lift a little higher. And then release. Strong triceps, elbows in, press up through your kneeling plank, curl the toes under, and we'll come to downward dog. Fingers spread wide. Step forward big with both feet. Forward fold at the front of the mat. This time, inhaling and stepping back big with the right foot. Nice wide stance for Warrior Two on the other side. Let's bend the left knee, arms out at shoulder height, gazing over the middle finger of your left hand. Shoulders above the hips, and you're sinking straight down. With your inhale, straighten the left leg, and exhale, sink low. Good. Inhale, straighten. Exhale. Ask for a little more. Respect your body if it says no, but ask it. See if it can go a little bit deeper. Good. This third time, let's hold it there. And then bring the left elbow onto the left leg and reach the right arm today straight up. Still a strong lunge. Your left knee is on top of your left ankle. Breathing deeply. Trust the strength in that left leg. Good. Inhale back to Warrior Two, and then exhale, hands to the floor. Come up on your right toes. Step back to plank. Hold it for a second. Strong straight line, head to heels, and then lower your knees down. Keep your elbows in as you lower your belly to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Back is doing the work until, and if you want, we start to press down by pulling back with the hands a little bit, and you can lift yourself up a little higher, getting a little more arch in the back, keeping the shoulders low, keeping the shoulders down. Good. Then release. Lift the belly button up into the spine to press up through a plank position and come to downward dog. Good. Gently lower the knees to the floor and come to a child's pose. Come to your most comfortable version. We'll be here for just a breath or two. A little rest and rejuvenation, always a good thing. Child's pose, always an option. A great way to show respect for your body and how it feels today by giving it that rest. Giving it time to rejuvenate, giving yourself time to find your breath again. Nice and easy. Let's roll up the spine so we're sitting on our heels. And then we're going to come up so that we are kneeling up high. If this is not comfortable on your knees, take the time to roll your mat under or just come to sitting. We're going to reach the hands behind us, palms facing each other. And this might be as far as you go. That's okay. If they clasp together, go ahead and do that. Reaching those arms back. Kneeling tall. Then release it. And we'll come to sitting. You could sit up on a block here. Makes it a little bit more comfortable to sit cross-legged until you get used to that. Either way is good. But make sure you can sit nice and tall. Your spine is long, like it's up against a wall. And we're going to take the left arm across the chest, keeping it straight, and then bring the right forearm to connect with the left forearm. The right palm facing forward, keeping the left shoulder low. Take care that it's not crunching up by your ear. Let it drop down and feel that stretch through the shoulder and the back. Just breathe deeply here. There's nothing else you have to do. This is perfect. This is right where you belong. Good. Let that side go and then switch. The right arm comes across the body. The forearms come together. And the left palm faces forward. This is a gesture that means fearlessness, which I really love. The forward-facing palm. Good, let that go. Have your block handy. We're going to bring our feet in front of us, the knees up. So we're coming into a boat pose. Start by sitting tall. And then release your hands away from your legs if you can. On the inhale, we're just going to reach them up above the head. Get them by your ears. And then exhale, lower down. Your spine is long. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Biceps by the ears. And exhale, bring them forward again. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. A few more like it. You're leaning back a little bit. Feet staying anchored to the floor here. That's fine. Good. Reach up high. Exhale, lower down. And then we will roll ourselves all the way down to the mat. Good. Again, just make sure your block is within arm's reach. We're going to start by bringing those heels pretty close to your hips. Arms on the floor by your side. And with your inhale, tucking the pelvis under and lifting the hips up off the ground to bridge. Your knees, your hips, your ankles are staying lined up. So your knees are on top of your ankles. It's like you're holding a block or a pillow between your knees. So your knees don't touch, but they can't fall open either. Holding and breathing. Now go ahead and grab that block and bring it under your hips so that when you bring your hips down, they're resting right on the block. So it's not your low back on the block, it's your sacrum. From there, we'll pick the knees up, and you can straighten your legs straight up if you'd like. This is a supported shoulder stand, one of my very favorite poses, and we want it to feel pretty restful. So we don't want to feel like we're putting a lot of effort into this. If that's the case, try bending your knees or even holding your hamstrings. Otherwise, letting everything relax. Still taking those slow, deep breaths. That is the link throughout our entire practice. The breath. Good. Gently bend the knees again. And then bring the feet down to the floor one by one. Press into your feet just enough so that you can lift the hips and take the block out. Good. Holding that bridge again, just like we did before, or if you'd like to deepen it, walk your arms under you and clasp your hands together on the floor beneath you. And then you can use your arms and really press down, and that's going to give you a little more clearance. Respecting your body here. If that doesn't feel good, do the other version. We'll release the arms and roll back down the spine until the tailbone touches down. Pausing, breathing. Taking note of what your body feels like now. We'll stretch the legs out and lift up onto your elbows. You can grab your block here, and we're going to do a supported fish. And the key is in getting that block placed correctly. So I put the edge of it right between my shoulder blades, at the bottom of my shoulder blades. And then when I lay back on it, the back of my head rests on the end of the block, and the block itself fits right in between my shoulder blades, and it's comfortable. That's the key. We want this to be comfortable. So if you cannot find that comfortable place for the block, you could try a pillow, much softer, much easier. Or you can just lie down on the floor. That's okay. Good, let's bring the elbows back in, press into them a little bit so that you can lift your head back up. And we'll bring the palms under your seat now, and we'll do a fish pose without the block. So the weight is on the elbows, the head is resting down. You are resting on the crown of your head, but the heart is really lifting, so there's not a lot of weight on your head. It's in your hips and your elbows. You can always just keep the block under you as well if you found a good place there and stay. This is so great for opening the heart and the throat. And then press into your palms just enough to release your head down to the floor. Bring your feet back up. Let's hug the knees in and rock the spine a little bit side to side. Then bring the feet down to the floor as wide as the mat, arms stretched out to the side, and we'll let both knees lower down to the side. If it's comfortable, take one foot and hook it over your knee there. So if you took your knees to the right, your right foot is going to hook over your left knee. If it's not comfortable, just keep the feet on the floor. Little gentle twist, nice deep breaths. Restful and respectful of this magnificent body that we have. Good. Unhook the foot, bring it back to the floor. Straighten yourself out on the mat as you bring your knees back up and lower them the other direction, hooking the other foot over the other knee, and then pausing for some breaths. Unhook that foot, placing it back on the floor, and we'll bring the knees up. Again, straighten yourself out if you feel a little bit crooked, and we will settle into Shavasana. Final relaxation, a very important pose, so please stay with me for it. This is the time your body kind of integrates everything that we did today. It's a time of much needed rest, which we don't always give ourselves, and rest is a great show of respect for our bodies as well. Because we run and we run and we run and we feel like we need to, and sometimes we do. I know that we're busy. We've got kids, we've got jobs, we've got a lot of different things going on. But you've also got 3 minutes. You can do this. You can take this time for yourself, and you owe it to yourself. You deserve it. So rest. Eyes are closed. Breath is deep. Feel and appreciate and respect this body that gives you so, so much. And let's give back to it right now. Bring that movement back into the body by wiggling a little bit, the fingers, the toes, the feet, the hands. And then rolling to your right side and pausing there, respecting this transition from deep relaxation back into your day. It takes a second, and that's okay. We'll sit back up nice and tall, finding space for your spine, for your lungs, for all the organs in your body. Closing your eyes for just another couple of minutes and remembering as you go through the day to give that respect to yourself and to your body. We are hard on our bodies. We are very critical and judgmental of our own bodies, but they keep plugging away for us. They keep walking, they keep breathing, they keep functioning. So let's give them a little extra love and respect today and every day. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's bring the palms together over the heart. Namaste.